And good morning, it is Mike Ferry, and welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It's the week of December 4th. Probably about 10 years or so ago, I got invited to go to the great city of Seattle, and a local builder who was pretty prominent had invited me to come up and speak to about 50 salespeople that he had invited to come and sell his high-end expensive homes that he was building. He asked me to speak for 2 or 3 hours, and it was a fun talk because many of the agents I had known and were clients. I started the talk by saying to them, because the program we did was in the month of November, the month we've just completed. And I started by saying to them, do you know how many work days there are in an actual, per the government, work year? And some of the agents said, well, must be what, 185? A couple said 200. A couple said maybe there's 220. Well, there's actually about 265 actual work days in a work year. I know in our company, we're open, we have to operate 260 to 270 days a year. And I said to the real estate agents, I said, isn't that interesting that we as an industry think that not working is okay? And when I said that to them, they all were kind of startled. And I'm sure some of you are thinking the same thing, because a lot of you do work a lot, which of course is what our job is, okay? So I said to them, you ever thought about working 11 months a year instead of working 8 months a year? And someone said, what do you mean? I said, well, if you take and just do the blinding flash of the obvious, if there's 21 work days in a month, which in most cases is 20, 21, 22, and then if you work some Saturdays, which many agents do, or Sundays instead, and if you do that 12 months, there's 250 to 260 days that you're going to be working. And then I said, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to track and honestly go backwards this year and track how many days you actually worked. Well, a lot of them said, well, gosh, I only work about 200 days a year. There's 365 work or total days in a year. And most of the real estate people work 200 days out of 365. They're only working about 55, 60% of the time. So with that being said, I did a little research, okay? Here we are, December 4th, okay? There's 17 work days between today and Saturday, December 23rd, okay? 17 work days. That's including you working a couple Saturdays. Now there's 15 work days if you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday only, 15 work days. What could you accomplish if you had to in the next 15 days? Or let's take a different approach. Will anybody in your marketplace in the month of December either buy or sell a home? We both know the answer is yes. Will there be multiple listings taken in the month of December? The answer is yes. Will there be a lot of buyers buying in December? The answer is yes. Probably there's only 2 or 3 days in a given year, probably Easter Sunday, probably New Year's Day, and probably Christmas Day, where there's not always a lot of transactions being done in real estate throughout North America. And yet most real estate people, as you know, don't work in the last half of November and most of December. So how many days, I wrote down, are you really going to work in the month of December? How many days do you think your customers think you're working in the month of December? You have a listing, you're working with a buyer. Do they think you're actually working to take care of them at this time? Because your customers are working. See, that's what I don't understand about our wonderful, crazy industry of real estate. All the people that we associate with, buyers and sellers, prospects, neighbors, friends, they're all working. Only we are not working to the level we should. Yes, I know a lot of us are showing up, but are you working? So then I wrote down this thought. Since Christmas is on Monday, the 25th of December, we have 4 or 5 days then until we take off December 30, 31st, and the 1st. Interesting, isn't it? So the truth is, between now and the end of this month of December, we have between 18 and 20 actual days we can work. Now, I know you're going to take some time off to Christmas shop, but why aren't you Christmas shopping in the evening or on Saturday or Sunday like most of the rest of the world has to do? My staff has to work. They can't just decide to go Christmas shopping Tuesday at 3 o'clock because they want to. Well, Mike, there's Christmas parties. Well, why are there Christmas parties during the day? Only in real estate do they have Christmas parties during the day. The rest of the world has to have them after work or in the evenings or on the weekends. See, the truth is, when I have people say to me all the time, I chose real estate because I wanted freedom in my life, to which I always smile and say, freedom from income, freedom from productivity, freedom from listings and sales, because you're in the right job if you want freedom, because you don't have to work. Now, then I want to step further. I had a great conversation. We have a wonderful client down in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Bernie Gallerini, superstar beyond superstars. We were talking about the fact that he and I will be working most of the time in December. And then we were kidding about the fact, I said, you know, Bernie, it's interesting. December 24, 25, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, December 31st, January 1st, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, all the commercial airlines are flying full schedules during that time. The pilots, flight attendants, the people at the airports are all working. Whether the people handling the luggage or catering the airplanes, they have to work. All the hotels are open and doing business on these days. Here in Las Vegas, where we live, quite honestly, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day are big days here in Las Vegas. I mean, the hotels are packed. New Year's Eve, there's probably 1 million people in the city celebrating New Year's Eve. All the stores are open. All the restaurants are open. Here's what's really interesting. Only real estate people are not working during this time. If all these different organizations have to be open to succeed, why aren't we open to succeeding? So my message for today, and I know you don't care for it, you don't like it, you probably have already turned it off, is simple. Buyers and sellers have to work to buy and sell homes. They have jobs, and they're working in a place from 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week, depending on their job, to earn the money so they can buy a home from you. There's millions of people right now that in their minds are thinking about December, January, February, March, buying and selling properties. It's happening every day. They're going to be with the person, hopefully it's you, that is involved, engaged in working during this period of time. I really do believe that most of us lose a lot of money because we just simply think nobody wants to buy and sell. Oh, I don't think there's any question. In most parts of the world, the market probably drops 5, 10, maybe even 15%. Okay, in terms of the number of transactions in December. But the number of agents working, and you know this, drops 50, 60%. So your chances of succeeding are actually increasing as we are talking today. It's the week of December 4th. Here's the thought. Why don't we work and make December a highly productive, really profitable month for ourselves, which will make January much better. Then when you take off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and maybe the day after, or you take off New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the day after, you'll feel better about yourself and what you're doing. Your clients will feel better about you. All right, watch. If you're going to Christmas parties, don't drink a lot, don't eat a lot, because you got to work, okay? If you're Christmas shopping, do it maybe after work, in the evening, or maybe on Saturday or Sunday. But Mike, there's big crowds at that time. I go shopping during the day because there's no crowds. Yeah, but you're shopping with people that are working, trying to sell you stuff. Let's earn the money to have a great first quarter in the month of December. Talk to you next week.